So, today is the 13th, 3/13/23. Thank you. All right. All right. Sorry. Supplementary angles. All right. Supplementary angles, not to be confused with complementary. So complementary was last week. What did complementary angles add up to? 90. Very good. Maybe those who said I don't know should get an F on the quiz they took last week because they don't know. All right. Supplementary angles. So supplementary, here's a definition of supplementary. Supplementary angles are two angles that add up to 180 degrees. So last week, when you added your two angles, what did it add up to? 90. Today, they're going to add up to 180. Yes, very good. That's what I was going to ask you. What does 180 look like? Straight line. So traditionally, if it's one angle, this would be 180 degrees. This was called a straight angle, right? So we're going to take that same idea of a straight line, a straight angle, but this time, Michael, we are actually going to divide it into two angles. So there's going to be a line here in which we have angle A and angle B. So we have two angles. Just like last week when we had two angles and it equaled 90, like number 1 on your do now, what did it equal? 90. Now we're going to switch it over and have it equal to 180 because it's a straight line.
It's the
Same type of work. So if I add angle A plus angle B, now what is going to equal to?
180.
180. Last week it equaled 90 because it looked like a 90-degree angle. This time it looks like 180. Where are my notes from last week? Somewhere. Oh, yeah. See? Last week, A plus B is 90 because it looked like 90 degrees. Now what does it look like? 180. So you can base it on what it looks like. All right, so we're going to go and do level 1. So here are two angles, right? This one's 107 degrees and this one's X. So just like last week, what am I going to do?
X plus 107 equals 180.
Very good. Good job. The number one mistakes that we see on these problems is the borrowing. It's the borrowing that messes everybody up. So subtract 107, subtract 107. X equals, so the borrowing, that's the biggest thing. I can't do 0 minus 7. So what does the 0 become?
10.
A 10. Well, we borrowed from the 8. So what does the 8 become? 7. Okay? So what's 10 minus 7? 3. 7 minus 0?
7.
And then 1 minus 1? 0. Be careful with this 1. A lot of times kids will put 1 here, but it's like it's 1 minus 1. Or they won't put it there when it's 1 minus 0. So be very careful. All right, that's it. That's That's easy, right? We're gonna do level 1. At the end, we'll do level 2. All right. Let's try this one. $66 and X. Richard, stay on task. All right, so it would be X plus 66 equals 180. So we're going to subtract 66, subtract 66. Where's the number one mistake? The number one mistake comes right now with the borrowing. Please show your work when borrowing. 10, 7. 10 minus 6, 4. 7 minus 6, 1. And then it's 1 minus nothing. So what's 1 minus nothing?
2.
Don't judge him. It's fine. 114. Okay? What if I give you, let's just do the math. 180 minus 92. Like, I give you a problem and you got to subtract 180 minus 92, because this is the problem a lot of kids had issues with second period. They got anything wrong, this is where the mistake is. So borrow. You're going to borrow twice. You're going to borrow twice. So what does a 0 become? 10. What does an 8 become? A 7. So when I do 10 minus 2, I get 8. No big deal, right? But then here I have 7 minus 9. I can't do 7 minus 9, so I have to borrow again. So now I borrow from the 1. What does the 1 become?
0.
A 0. And the 7 becomes a 17. You add 10, so it becomes 17. Some kids are like, it becomes a 6. I'm like, oh no. It becomes an 8. No, you add 10. So what's 17 minus 9? 8. So 88. Because you can't use a calculator for these. You have to do the work by hand.